2026, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in Brazil, where they are preparing for the COP30 climate conference in Belém, or Belém, depending on how you pronounce it, in 2025, focusing on comprehensive infrastructure development and sustainable changes. The conference that is coming to Brazil this year is focused around the future of climate action. This event represents a significant opportunity for Brazil to showcase its commitment to environmental stewardship on the global stage, with infrastructure projects designed to benefit both conference attendees and local residents. From Reuters, quote, "We are implementing the latest in green technology, such as solar panels and waste management systems, to ensure that the impact of the conference is both positive and enduring. The challenge is immense, given the scale of the event and the need to harmonize international logistics with local realities," end quote. Next, we travel to Madagascar, where anti-government protests have erupted across multiple cities, driven by economic frustrations and allegations of corruption. Demonstrators want accountability and transparency from President Rajolina's administration, with tensions escalating between protesters and security forces. The unrest highlights deeper systematic divisions within the country and calls for constructive dialogue to prevent further conflict. From Reuters, quote, "Protests in Madagascar have intensified, with citizens from multiple cities taking to the streets in a unified show of disapproval towards the current government. The unrest is largely fueled by widespread frustration over the rising cost of living and persistent allegations of corruption among officials." Next, we go to Canada, where their federal government plans to present its main budget for autumn 2025, focusing on addressing economic challenges such as high inflation, elevated borrowing costs, and public debt levels. The budget aims to balance economic growth strategies with sustainable fiscal management. The fiscal blueprint will emphasize optimizing public spending while maintaining essential services and fostering economic resilience. From Reuters, quote, "Canada's federal government said on Friday it would present its main budget this autumn, part of the strategic step intended to outline the government's economic priorities and spending plans," a government official said. Next, we travel across the Pacific to North Korea, where Kim Jong-un reaffirmed the strengthening alliance with Russia on the 75th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. The communication underscores a deepening relationship between Pyongyang and Moscow, both of which are facing international isolation and sanctions. Kim's message emphasizes mutual cooperation and shared opposition to Western policies, signaling a continued collaboration in political and military domains. From Reuters, quote, "In this message to Putin, Kim noted that the agreement reached at the most recent meeting was a significant event in the development of the relations between the two countries." He further emphasized that friendly relations, such as precise heritage, and highlighted that the new era of bilateral relations offer more opportunities for both nations to pursue their independent objectives, end quote. Next, we travel south to Australia, where the Australian consumer sentiment has declined for the second consecutive month in October, with the Westpac Melbourne Institute index falling 80 points, well below the 100-point optimism threshold. The decline is primarily driven by increased mortgage rates and an ongoing cost of living crisis. Despite low unemployment, households are feeling financially stressed, with the expectations of further interest rate hikes contributing to the pessimistic economic outlook. From Reuters, quote, "A significant driver behind this drop is the persistent pressure from rising mortgage rates. Borrowers are now grappling with the reality of higher monthly payments," end quote. And finally, we finish today in Europe, where French Socialist Party leader Olivier Faure has declared he will vote against Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu's, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, sir, due to an unresolved social and economic concerns. His stance reflects growing party dissatisfaction with the government's policies on social welfare and economic reforms. Faure argues that the current administration is disconnected from the citizens' everyday challenges, particularly around issues of inflation and unemployment and declining public services. From Reuters, quote, "As things stand, we cannot in good conscience support a government led by Prime Minister Lecornu. Our citizens are struggling, facing issues with inflation, unemployment, and the erosion of public services, yet the current administration seems disconnected from the everyday realities of the people," a spokesperson for the French Socialist Party said, end quote. And, of course, if you want to read any of today's articles in their entirety, you can find all of them linked in the description below that like and subscribe button. Also down there, you can find the podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, as well as the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post the links to these episodes on Tuesday and Thursday, and the main 10-minute long U.S.-focused podcast on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.